there, Sagittarius, and welcome to your September 2018 love reading with Divine Love Tarot. I want to thank you and welcome you to my channel, whether it's your first time here or you're a return viewer subscriber. Welcome. I hope the message resonates for you. If you find that it doesn't, go ahead and remember, keep in mind, I should say, that this is a general reading and it may not resonate for everyone. Some weeks it may, some weeks it may not. And if you find that's the case, you may want to check out your moon sign, your rising, and even your Venus sign, because sometimes those planets are more prominent in your chart. If you have any questions about what that means, you can go ahead and contact me. I will explain. And also make sure if you're a subscriber, you hit that notification button so that you can know when I drop a new video. I know I have a giveaway that I want to do for 5,000 subscribers. I'm very excited about that, guys. Thank you. And so you want to make sure that you get those notifications. And if you like this reading and you enjoyed it, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the love reading. First card is going to represent your current energy. And we've got the Ace of Cups. Okay, could be new love, could be renewal of love, could just be a good flow of love going on right now. Next card we have is what's challenging you, what's crossing that energy. We've got the Three of Pentacles. Okay, could be a situation where it's about maintaining the cooperation in the situation. All right. For some of you, this could indicate maybe there's multiple people in this situation. Next card represents the past energy you're coming out of, and that's the King of Cups. All right. Looking really good so far, Sagittarius. Next card represents your future energy. Two of Wands in the reverse. Next card represents what you want. And we've got the Emperor in reverse. Next card represents your internal factors, what's driving you. Six of Wands. Next card represents the advice for this reading. And we've got the Moon card in the reverse. Next card represents external factors. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. Next card represents your hopes and fears. We've got the Nine of Swords in the reverse. And the next card represents the outcome for this reading. And we've got the Ace of Swords. Okay, so definitely new love or new direction, or maybe all of the above. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it with this Ace of Cups, right? This is good. This shows a flow of emotions, right? A flow of positive emotions. So for some of you, the Ace of Cups can represent a new relationship, but it can also represent like marriage. It can represent, a proposal. So for some of you, there may be a proposal on the table. But I feel like with the Ace of Cups, for me, it's almost like an offer of love. If it's not new love, then it's like in an ongoing relationship, it's almost like it's a renewal, right? It's what am I trying to say? Yes, I guess renewal is the word I'm trying to use, okay? Ace of Cups can represent babies, okay? So for those of you may have a baby on the way, or be careful, you may be very fertile right now. So let's go ahead and clarify this Ace of Cups. And why are my cards upside down? All right, so clarify the Ace of Cups. And we get the High Priestess, okay? So for some of you, this can be about you really going within, right? Looking within and connecting to yourself, right? For some of you, I'm all over the place with this reading. I don't know. I think I have too much caffeine in my system right now. All right, so the Ace of Cups can indicate a new relationship or a new love. So for some of my Sagittarius, you may have interest in someone who represents the High Priestess, someone who kind of comes off as unavailable, not because they don't want you, but the High Priestess type of energy doesn't necessarily feel like they need a relationship to validate them, or they're kind of like hard to get, right? For some of you, this can represent a Pisces. So Sagittarius, if you've just met a Pisces, this could be your situation. But other than that, I feel like for my Saggies, if you are, you know, if you're in a new relationship or if you've renewed your feelings, it's almost like, you know, you've connected to that deep spiritual part of you, that deep, you know, connected to your inner self and your inner guide in order to, you know, understand how to give and receive love, okay? And I feel like that's been a theme for this month of September in a lot of the readings, okay? About really, you know, knowing how to connect to yourself. And once you know how to connect to yourself, then of course you'll be better able to connect to others, right? Because sometimes we look to outside sources for gratification and for happiness when really it starts with us, right? Now, moving on to the challenge, though, the challenge is about teamwork and cooperation, okay? Here with the Three of Pentacles. So, you know, it could be a situation where you have to keep in mind that cooperation is necessary, compromise is necessary in relationships. For some of you, this could be a situation where maybe there, you know, are other people involved. Maybe you're already in a situation and, you know, or there's other people who might be interested in you or vice versa. So let's go ahead and clarify that. And we get the Page of Swords. So, you know, it could be a situation where, you know, someone is kind of spying, you know, someone's keeping tabs on someone. So, you know, if there is a situation where there's some third-party action going on, I feel like someone's either spying on you, they don't trust you, or like they're meddling in your relationship. If it's not a third party, it's like there's a third person who's causing a little bit of friction, or who potentially could, because this is the challenge. That's what's crossing you. So it's someone who is either causing friction or someone who has the potential, or it's, you know, once again, the potential that, you know, your outside interest may, you know, cause friction in your current situation. Okay, moving on to the past energy with the King of Swords. What am I saying? With the King of Cups, okay? So this is coming out of possibly some romantic energy, okay? For those of you, it could be if you were dealing with the water sign, so it could be that Pisces again. But if not, it could be the two other water signs. But if not a person, then the King of Cups just represents balanced emotions, okay? Balanced emotions, romance, you know, let's go ahead and clarify. And we get the Page of Wands in the reverse with the King of Cups. So maybe in the past you heard something that you didn't necessarily like about someone who represented the King of Cups to you. Okay, so, or, you know, somebody said something about you that wasn't necessarily true. When I see the page in the reverse, I think of bad news, okay, negative news. So, or gossip. So once again, it's like there could be someone who, you know, is either gossiping about you or trying to meddle. And I just feel like that's that kind of energy speaking to me. I know somebody's going to be like, "What? How are you getting that?" And it's like, it just keeps coming. Something is telling me that there's someone who is either gossipy. And I had this in another reading also. Someone's being kind of gossipy, or, you know, like there's someone who, you know, whether you're with the person or not, it's like they're always there. They're always like, it's one of those things like when, you know, when you find someone new and then someone old who feels like they should be in the spot, even though they bring kind of a negative energy sometimes. So I just feel like maybe it's an ex, or maybe it's like someone that you kind of deal with, but on a casual level, but they cause trouble for you sometimes. So you want to be careful, Sagittarius. Does anybody like that in your, you know, in your realm? You kind of want to get rid of that person because they're just trouble. Okay, so I feel like it could be someone who is the King of Cups. Like I said, it could be a water sign that is either meddlesome or, you know, always like attacks you. Like say you're in a new relationship, you have a new love, and then they call like, oh, you know, I see you have a new, you know, girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, and they give you shit for it. So if that resonates with you guys, let me know, okay? Moving on to the future energy, we've got the Two of Wands, in the reverse. So this is a situation where maybe, you know, some of you are having a hard time making a decision. Also with the Two of Wands in the reverse, it's about kind of like plans falling apart. Okay. Definitely, you know, not able to see the path forward, okay? So let's go ahead and clarify that future energy. And we get the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords sometimes can represent the friend zone. The Queen of Swords is very, you know, she can be very cold. She's very cut and dry. She's very to the point, okay? The Queen of Swords is about intellectual stimulation. The Queen of Swords plays no games with you. So if you have a situation where you're either not able to choose between two people or not willing to make a choice between two people, that Queen is going to make that choice for you. Okay, because the Queen is not going to be in a situation with someone who doesn't know what they want. Okay, so that could be your energy, Sagittarius, or that could be the energy of someone who's dealing with you. All right. The Queen of Swords also, like I said, can be the friend zone. So maybe, you know, there's a situation where maybe you have feelings for this high priestess person and, you know, they're not necessarily, you know, at the same place as you. They're not necessarily ready for a relationship. You know, could be a situation. Maybe this person who meddled was successful, but in either case, there's a situation where somebody may decide, you know what, this is not the situation for me, but let's be friends, okay? This could also be you putting this other person that has been kind of, you know, giving you issues into the friend zone finally. You know, especially if it's somebody that you've had like a sexual kind of relationship with. And I know this is not going to resonate for everybody, but I feel like for some of my Sagittarius, it may be someone who you always kind of have in your back pocket, that you have that chemistry with. It's a very probably superficial type of relationship. And, you know, it's almost like if there's nothing going on for you, you kind of fall back to this person. And then when there is something going on, you know, maybe this person kind of, you know, plays the side, or, you know, they, even if they complain about it, they're still around, right? So for those of you, if you have a situation that sounds like that, I think maybe it may be time for you to put this person in the friend zone, because I feel like even if you don't have quote unquote feelings for them in order to have a real relationship, or whatever the issue is why you're not in a relationship with that particular person, them being around is going to always interfere with the situation that is important to you. So if you have met someone that you have feelings for and they're important to you, then I think it would be the best thing to just let that other person go, or just say, look, we can be friends, but let's see. Moving on to what you want. Okay, we got the Emperor in reverse. So, Sag, for some of you, this could be an Aries that you want. For others of you, though, with the Emperor in reverse, maybe you want a situation that is not really a commitment. Maybe you don't want something that is like you. I think you want a situation, you know, maybe if you've dealt with somebody who was controlling in the past, it's almost like you want the opposite of that. You want something that's a little bit more fluid, a little bit less, you know, the boundaries are not clear. And I'm feeling like there was an issue with boundaries in a few of your readings ago. And if this is your first time on my channel, I tend to kind of like try to keep track of all the readings, because to me, I feel like, you know, if you come and you say that this reading resonated with you, right? And then I do the reading next month and that reading kind of resonates. It's like a story, right? We have a storyline going here. And so I kind of remember sometimes like, okay, was boundaries an issue? And I feel like for Saggies, either it was an issue in general or with a particular person, but it's almost like you want a situation that is not going to require you to be responsible. Okay? Let me go ahead and clarify this. So if it's not an Aries, then we get the Seven of Cups in the reverse. All right? So, you know, the Emperor in reverse is also someone who is not very... Okay, I've got it. I think I understand. Okay, so here we have the Queen of Swords, okay? We have the High Priestess, The Queen of Swords could be, could be the same person, maybe not. But the Queen of Swords is someone who tends to be kind of logical. She's more logical than emotional. Or not to say that she's not emotional, but she doesn't let her emotions rule. She doesn't wear her emotions on her sleeve like perhaps the Queen of Cups might, or even the Queen of Wands, okay? The High Priestess is also kind of a cool cucumber, okay? She may be, she's attractive. There's something about her personality, and I'm saying her just because of the cards. It could be her or him. But something about them draws people to them, okay? Something about the High Priestess is mysterious. So people are drawn to that mystery. But it may not necessarily be someone who's full of warmth, okay? Or someone who's full of emotion or who shows their emotions readily. Where the Emperor in reverse tends to be more emotional than logical, sometimes to the excess, where there's no balance there. With the Seven of Cups in reverse, it's about not having any more illusions, right? So I feel like maybe you just want someone who's a little bit more emotional than maybe this cool character who you wind up maybe even friend zoning, or they wind up friend zoning you, okay? You want someone who's probably a little bit more emotional, and, you want someone who's not going to trick you or not going to sell you like a fantasy, because the Seven of Cups is about clarity, okay? The Seven of Cups is about clarity. It's about no more illusions. It's about not, having fantasies, not daydreaming. So you do want something, whether it's a commitment or not, but I think you just want something that's more real, okay? You want more of a real situation, maybe even than, like I said, this other situation with this King of Cups type character who may have been a little bit negative with you or had some negative feedback to give you, or maybe you guys just didn't have the most positive interaction, okay? You don't mind the emotional part, but you just don't want someone who's going to feed you a bunch of lies either. Okay, now moving on to what is driving you, your internal factors, and we have the Six of Wands, okay? So the Six of Wands can indicate some passion, okay? With the Six of Wands, we also have someone who is victorious, someone who's, can possibly have like a lot of quote-unquote conquests. That's mostly in the reverse, though. I feel like with the Six of Wands, it's almost like, yes, it can represent sexual energy or sexual attention, but it can also represent like being with someone who kind of gives you an ego boost. Okay, so I feel like internally right now you might be feeling really good. You might be really feeling yourself. Okay, your confidence might be up. All right, you might be feeling really passionate. Okay, let's go ahead and clarify that Six of Wands energy. And we get the Star card. So I feel like, yes, your confidence is really up. You're really feeling yourself. So, quote unquote. The Star card is also about, once again, having that clarity, that inner clarity. So I think, Sagittarius, you're really getting to this place where you, not only do you feel good about yourself, but you know what you want. You know what you want out of situations, and you know what you want out of relationships. So if you're dealing with someone who maybe you're attracted to this person, right? I don't think you want anything that's fake anymore. Okay, maybe that's like the bottom line. I think you don't want someone either who is going to be fake or who is going to, kind of hide how they feel about you. Okay, you want to connect with somebody and you're getting clear, or, whatever it is that you want, you're getting clear about it. All right, and I feel like that clarity really has a lot to do, because it's here at the outcome of the reading with the Ace of Swords. That's about clarity. The Seven of Cups in the reverse is about clarity. This Star card, internally is about clarity. So you are at a point where you're like, look, no more nonsense, okay? Just done with the nonsense. And then moving on now to the advice card for the reading, and we've got the Moon in the reverse. So that's about truths being revealed, okay? Secrets sometimes even being revealed. But I guess the advice with the Moon in the reverse is about being honest. It is about being clear, okay? So if you have a secret, maybe it's time to kind of, or not even a secret, if you have something that needs to be discussed, if you have something that needs to be revealed, if you have some type of truth that you feel like someone needs to hear, and maybe that's what this Queen of Swords and this Ace of Swords energy is about. It's about you really being like, you know what? This is how I really feel. I've been going along with things for a while. This is how I really feel. Or, back here, this happened. These things were said. This situation made me feel a certain type of way. This is how I really feel. I'm connecting to myself now. I know how I really feel about something. And I think that's about you expressing that. Okay, so you got the High Priestess and the Ace of Cups in your current energy. So I feel like, if it's not about another person or a new love, it's about you really knowing what you want and how you feel, okay, whether you're in a long-term relationship or you're single. And I think now, it's about speaking on that. It's about being clear, like you're thinking it, right? You're thinking it, you're feeling it, and so the advice is to show it, okay? Moving on to the external energies, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. So there may be someone who wants a commitment from you. Okay, the Ten of Pentacles is about commitment. It's about stability. It's about, the security of a stable relationship. Okay, and so there may be either someone who is wanting that from you, someone who's expecting that from you. Maybe there's another relationship that inspires you, okay, with this Ten of Pentacles. Maybe someone is seeing you, someone from the outside looking in, right, is like, oh, maybe this Sagittarius wants to, commit to me, because the Ten of Pentacles is a couple that is committed to each other. Okay, it's not necessarily about the emotions with the Ten of Pentacles. It's about the commitment. So, Sag, maybe there is a situation, and I'll clarify this in a minute. There's a situation where, once again, you're coming to terms with how you feel about someone or a situation. If that person is willing to be in a relationship just for the commitment, okay, I think that may be the deal. I think you may be dealing with someone who, it's not so much about how you guys feel about each other or anything else like that. It could be, about, you guys coming together materially. It could be about, the commitment and just being in a secure relationship. So let's go ahead and clarify that. Ooh, we got the Three of Swords in the reverse. Yes, this is someone who maybe is looking to be in a commitment because they've been hurt before. They're getting over a heartache, and they don't trust anything if a commitment isn't there. There's some people, it's like, okay, in order for me to believe that you really feel this way about me, I'm going to need a commitment. All right, so I feel like that's either the energy of someone that you may be dealing with, or someone may be seeing you as having that energy. Now, for my long-term relationships, right? For my long-term relationships, Sag, I think that it's almost like you're getting like a boost, right? You're getting a boost. There's passion here. There's, you and your clarity. And, maybe if things have happened in the relationship, whether it was outside influences or not, right? If something happened that caused any type of friction, it's like with the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like there needs to be some show of shoring up the stability, right? So you may have a partner or a spouse who is like, look, we need to tighten things up, okay? I need something to feel more secure. We need to get back to the fact and pay attention to the fact that we are committed to each other. Okay, so for my people who are dating, I feel like you may be in a relationship with someone who is ready to push for that commitment. And I think that you've just really are coming to terms with how you feel for this person. For some of you, you're going to realize that you care about this person and you like them, but they may not necessarily be the one for you, and wind up friend zoning. Or, I think that it's just about you verbalizing the fact that you probably need a little bit more of an emotional connection, of a real connection, okay? So if you've had something that was kind of shallow or materialistic, I don't think that's going to be good enough for you anymore, okay? Or if it's vice versa, if you're in a relationship with someone who feels like maybe you have been a little bit shallow or materialistic, then I think they're going to actually be the ones to be like, look, I need a little bit more, okay? Your hopes and your fear, Sagittarius, is the Nine of Swords in the reverse. So I think your hope is that whatever it was, that whatever the issue was or whatever caused this Three of Swords in the reverse energy, that negative energy lessens, okay? With the Nine of Wands in reverse, it's about waking up from a nightmare. It's about a lot, lessening of depression and anxiety. So if you were going through a situation where you were having any of those issues, you hope that finally you can get out of feeling like that, okay? And I think here, clarifying that, we get the Justice card. And so you want a more fair situation, okay? So I really think that there is a situation here, Sagittarius, where whatever your part, the part that you played within it, you want a more fair situation, and you don't want a situation that's going to cause you to be stressed out and worried, okay? And so for those of you who feel like commitment is the next step, I think that that's where this clarity comes in. All right, I think you're going to really let this person know, look, I don't want any more illusions. I don't want any more fantasies. Don't fill my head with, yeah, babies, if, that commitment isn't going to be forthcoming. All right. Also, for those in a relationship, yeah, going forward, you want things to be more clear. You don't want any more emotional confusion, and definitely no more disappointments. All right. And moving on to the outcome of this reading, we have the Ace of Swords. So this is about clarity, clearing things up, okay? The Ace of Swords is also about perhaps, the moving things in a different direction. Okay, so, if, like I said, the relationship is coming from a kind of negative place, now we're going to steer it to some place that's a little bit more positive. If it's been coming from a shallow place, then maybe we're going to go deeper and we're going to get our emotions involved, okay, because you're feeling better about yourself. And whenever, like I said, it starts from within. If you're feeling good and happy from within, then you have more to give another person, and you have more to give within the bounds of a relationship. For some of you, I feel like this clarity is just going to be the, hey, look, this isn't working for me, okay? I thought that this was what I wanted, but I'm realizing I want a little bit more. Or, I feel like sometimes, you just tell me what I want to hear. You're not really truthful with me, okay? And I need the truth from you. Let's go ahead and clarify the outcome. Ooh, we get the Nine of Swords. So even though you're hoping for the Nine of Swords in reverse, I think with all this clarity going on, you're going to find out something, and it's going to cause you a little bit of anxiety and stress. And the thing with the Nine of Swords is sometimes it's almost like you feel like it's something that you did. So I feel like, even though you want to be honest, okay, maybe whatever that honesty is not necessarily going to be well received by the person that you're being honest with, and it's going to cause you a little bit of kickback because you're going to feel like, maybe I shouldn't have said this. But, sometimes you just, being honest comes with consequences sometimes. And at the end of the day, even though those consequences may suck, the outcome, though, overall, after this period, after this September, October period, it may be for the best. Because if you know that a relationship is shallow, if you know that either someone's being fake with you, or maybe you're just going with the flow and you don't really feel how this person thinks you feel, then it is the best thing to be honest. And yeah, it may cause some hurt feelings, but, do it now versus, down the line when either you're bored or they're bored with the situation, or outside people start coming into play because you don't really feel the way that you say you feel, okay? If it's a situation where it was like a materialistic, sometimes we get into relationships, or you move in with people because together you can afford a nicer place. Sometimes we want to be married, but we don't necessarily have longevity we pick people that we're not necessarily going to have longevity with. You know, so it's like if I want to get married and you want to get married, then it's like, oh, great, high five. But are we compatible? So I think for some of you, it's a situation like that where you realize, am I even compatible with this person? Are we being real with each other? Are we just together for the sake of being in a relationship? Is this what I really want? And so for some of you, that truth and being honest about how you feel may cause either you to have some sleepless nights and, you know, anxiousness over how they react, or maybe they're going to have some sleepless nights and anxiousness about this truth that is revealed. Okay? And that is the reading, Sagittarius. It turned out a lot longer than I expected. But guys, you know, let me know what's going on in the comments. If you would like a more personalized reading, you can go ahead and contact me. All my information is in the description bar, or you can just leave a comment and I'll let you know how to get in touch with me. And I'll see you guys at the next reading. Bye, Sagittarius.